Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another Sport This Week video. And in today's video, we have basketball, cricket, tennis, rugby, football, UFC, boxing, and F1 news. If you are new around here though, and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do indeed like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, starting off this week, I'm going to start off with the cricket news, where it was the end of the ICC World Cup, but just before that, England lost in the semi-finals 167 to 166 versus New Zealand. So that means we didn't make it to the final, but Australia ended up winning 173 to 172 versus New Zealand to win the ICC World Cup, which is a bit of a surprise, really. I mean, you would have expected a team like India or Pakistan or England to go on and win it, but fair play to Australia and New Zealand for doing well, and congratulations to Australia getting the win. But yeah, that is all the cricket news. Moving on to the tennis now, where it was the WTA finals, where Sabalenka lost 2-0 to Badoza. Sabalenka then won 2-1 versus Swiatek, and that was all that news for that tournament. That's going to be carried on next week. But it was also the Nitto ATP finals, where Medvedev won 2-1 versus Herkaz, and Zverev won 1-0 versus Berrettini. And that started on the Sunday, so yesterday. So that's also going to be carried on to next week. But yeah, so moving on from that, I'm going to go to the rugby news now, where it was 2 international friendlies for England. And England won 32 to 15 versus Australia, and England won 51 to 12 versus Canada. And yeah, that is all the rugby news. Basketball news now though. Clippers won 120 to 106 versus Hornets. 76ers lost 103 to 96 versus Knicks. Bulls won 118 to 95 versus Nets. Heat lost 113 to 96 versus Nuggets. Lakers won 126 to 123 versus Hornets. 76ers lost 118 to 109 versus Bucks. Clippers won 117 to 109 versus Blazers. Celtics won 104 to 88 versus Raptors. Bulls won 117 to 107 versus Mavericks. Lakers won 120 to 117 versus Heat. 76ers lost 115 to 109 versus Raptors. Clippers won 112 to 109 versus Heat. Celtics won 122 to 113 versus Bucks. Bulls lost 119 to 93 versus Warriors. Lakers lost 107 to 83 versus Timberwolves. Heat won 111 to 105 versus Jazz. 76ers lost 118 to 113 versus Pacers. Celtics lost 91 to 89 versus Celtics. Clippers won 129 to 102 versus Timberwolves. And the Lakers won 114 to 106 versus Spurs. And yeah, that is all the basketball. Quite a lot of news this week. But yeah, that is all of it. Moving on to the football news now, where Howe became the new Newcastle manager. Smith Rowe got called up for England for the first time. Gerrard is the new Aston Villa manager. There was a Czech billionaire that bought a 27% stake in West Ham, meaning that they are going to probably get a big influx of money. Germany won 9-0 versus Liechtenstein. Sorry, that was a bit of a mouthful for me to say. Croatia won 7-1 versus Malta. Brazil won 1-0 versus Colombia. Portugal drew 0-0 versus Republic of Ireland. Spain won 1-0 versus Greece. Georgia won 2-0 versus Sweden. Russia won 6-0 versus Cyprus. Salah got Player of the Month. Tuchel got Manager of the Month. And Salah also got Goal of the Month. England won 5-0 versus Albania. Poland won 4-1 versus Andorra. Denmark won 3-1 versus the Faroe Islands. Italy drew 1-1 versus Switzerland. Alves has rejoined Barcelona, the legend that he is. Argentina won 1-0 versus Uruguay. France won 8-0 versus Kazakhstan. Montenegro drew 2-2 versus Netherlands. Belgium won 3-1 versus Estonia. Wales won 5-1 versus Belarus. Gallagher has joined the England squad for the first time. Croatia won 1-0 versus Russia. Germany won 4-1 versus Armenia. Serbia won 2-1 versus Portugal. And Spain won 1-0 versus Sweden. And yeah, that is all the football news. Not loads this week, as is the international break, but that's going to be ending by next week. And yeah, that is all the football news. Moving on to the UFC now, where Holloway won by decision versus Rodriguez. And I haven't seen the highlights of it yet, but apparently it was a really good fight. So fair play to Holloway. And De Lima won via KO in round 1 versus Rothwell. So congratulations to him as well. Moving on to the boxing, Munguia won via unanimous decision versus Rosado, and Martinez won via KO in round 6 versus Galahad to become IBF world champion, which is a bit of a shock really because Galahad was expected to win that one. And yeah, it's always nice to see a bit of a shock. It's something different. And yeah, that is all the boxing news. Moving on to the final sport now, which is the Formula 1 news, where Hamilton faced a 5-place grid penalty for just like doing something with the car, it's the engine. And then Hamilton also got disqualified from qualifying because of the technical infringement related to the DRS system. And then was the Brazil Grand Prix where he started 10th. Bottas started on pole, Verstappen started 2nd, and Sainz started 3rd. But in the end, Hamilton did claw back and managed to win, so congratulations to him. Verstappen came 2nd, and Bottas came 3rd. And yeah, that was the end of the race. So that is the end of the video as well. So please like this video if you did like the video, subscribe if you are new, and thanks for watching.